Yeah. And your idea of social selling, my version of it, just to test my understanding of obviously you go into it a huge amounts of depth, but from an instinctual point of view, I've always believed that social networks are not that different to how you would engage in the real world in terms of how you do attract and if you're selling something, buyers and vice versa. There is no shortcut to taking the time to get to know someone. If it's liking a post, commenting on a post, if it's inviting somebody to follow something, you follow their thing. It's like that little dance we all do that says, I like what you have to say. I think we've got something here that could be synergistic. Let's kind of move towards each other, as opposed to, and I'm pretty sure this is where you were kicking off from, as the old way of doing things, which is, I'm a consumer. Let's just spam me to death until I may one day serendipitously pick up your leaflet and go, oh, that thing I've seen 50 times. I'm now ready to buy something. That kind of push, 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 push that the old style of selling used to be. So, obviously, that's me as a lay person just talking about how I like to engage. But there's a huge amounts of science behind this and proven kind of behavioral studies, isn't there, that this actually does work?
Yes, so we started the business 10 years ago. My first book is nearly 10 years old, and it was the first book on social selling, and it went into the best-selling list on the pre-order. And, I wrote it just because I actually thought, when I was writing it, I was actually thinking about my father had dementia, and I wanted to get the book out so he would actually recognize that his son had written this book, and maybe he would recognize that. So that was one of the things. So we actually have a definition of what we think social selling is, which is using your presence and behavior on social media to build influence, make connections, grow relationship and trust, which leads to conversations and commercial interaction.